how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Real with Rocco. So today, I'm going to be telling you guys about my 3 favorite summer baits. And you're probably asking yourself, Rocco, why don't you just choose 5? Because these are pretty much the only 3 baits I fish with in the summer. Now let's get to it. So the first bait I like to fish in the summer is a topwater hollow body frog. So right here, this is the 6th Sense Vega frog. And I'm going to be telling you the gear that I throw all these baits on. So right here I got 30-pound Power Pro braid, and you can go heavier if you want for frogging. I got a 7-foot heavy action by St. Croix Mojo Bass. It's Mojo Bass by St. Croix. Then I got my Shimano SLX DC, and I have it on a 7-to, I think it's 7-to by 1 gear ratio. And people go higher, they'll go up to 8. They'll go up to 8.2 by 1 gear ratio, and they like fishing fast with frog fishing. So I like throwing that on this type of gear right here. Okay, so how I like to throw the top water hollow belly frog, just cast it out there, switch, walk it. Now let it sit for like 10 seconds. Switch it again. Just let it sit. Switch. Now let it sit. And when it usually sits, that's when they hit it. So where I like to throw the topwater hollow belly frog is in heavy slop, moss, and grass. So when you're popping along the grass, it'll grab that fish's attention, and those hooks are covered so you won't get any grass on them. And with frog fishing, you'll miss a lot of fish because those hooks are covered like that. That's why you want a heavy rod to bury those hooks in that fish's mouth. But when you're popping along the grass, once you hit an open spot in the grass, that's when the fish usually attack it. I've had them sometimes in like real thick stuff, they'll hit it before it even hits an open spot, but that's how I like to fish the frog, and that's one of my favorite summertime baits right there. So my second favorite summertime bait is a jig. Right here, this is the Outcast Tackle Cage Fighter jig in 3/8 ounce, and the color is Mud Puppy. And on the back, I got a Strike King Rage Craw. So what I like about a jig in the summer is those crawfish are active and stuff like that, and the bluegill are active, real active because it's hot out. And a jig imitates both of those pretty much, both crawfish and bluegill. And now I will show you what gear I'm throwing this on. So right here I have 15-pound Seaguar fluorocarbon, and then the rod I have is a St. Croix Mojo Bass medium heavy, and I am throwing, and the reel I am using is a Shimano Curado DC and 7.4 by 1 gear ratio. And that's one of my favorite reels to fish for bass, because it's a perfect speed reel when you're fishing with jigs, spinner baits, jerk baits. I throw everything on this rod except for topwater lures, but it's one of my favorite rods I own. Very versatile rod. And now I'm going to show you how to fish the jig and where I like to fish it. Now I'm going to show you guys how to work the jig. So what I like to do is I like to cast it out, let it sink a little bit, pop, pop, let it sink, pop, pop, let it sink, pop, pop, let it sink. Now I'll give you guys an underwater footage of the jig. where I like to throw the jig, I really like to throw the jig pretty much anywhere except for heavy slop. That's where the frog comes in handy. But I like to throw it shallow grass, wood, rock, pretty much anything. And this jig will catch you fish in any of that structure. Any condition, the jig works. I've caught them in winter, fall, spring, summer on the jig. So the jig is an amazing bait for any type of, in any condition, any time of year, and any structure. The jig is a great bait, and that's why it's one of my top 3 favorite summer baits. So my third favorite summer bait is a Ned rig. So right here I have a Z-Man TRD, which is one of my favorite Ned rig worms. Or my second favorite one is a Ned Oko, or Ocho, however you say it, by Strike King. But I will show you the rig, TRD with the Z-Man Mushroom Z head. I got 10-pound fluorocarbon Seaguar leader, or I'll use 15. Coming down, I got 20-pound braid. I got a 6'6" medium light spinning rod by St. Croix. This is a Triumph. And then I got a Shimano Sedona. So that is one of my favorite spinning rigs and one of my favorite Ned rig rods. But I throw everything on this rod. I throw drop shots, Ned rigs, jerk baits, poppers. I'll throw anything on this rod. Great versatile rod, and now I will show you how to work the Ned rig. So how I work the Ned rig is just like the jig. I'll cast it out, let it sink to the bottom, and now reel, pop, pop, reel, pop, pop, reel, pop, pop, reel, pop, pop. And easy like that. Or if you want to throw a little swim bait or something, you can do the same exact thing, or you can just straight retrieve it. But this is how I like to throw the Ned rig, just pop, pop. And I really like the Ned rig for summertime because I've went out there and thrown a frog in a jig all day and not caught anything. Then I'll go out and then I'll pick up the Ned rig. Second cast, I'll catch one pretty much. It happened to me a couple days ago. But the Ned rig, some people call it cheating because it catches a lot of fish and it's just an easy bait to throw. But whatever bait catches fish, I like it. But that is how I throw the Ned rig, just like that. So where I like to throw the Ned rig. The Ned rig, I don't want to throw it in shallow grass unless you got the ones with the weed guard. But really, I like it in wood and rock. And it imitates a worm, a crawfish, a bluegill eating on the bottom, or a minnow. And it's just a really all-around good bait. And you can use this all year round too, just like the jig. Use this all year round. Spring, summer, fall, winter, any condition, go out there and you'll catch some fish on the Ned rig. Trust me. It's one of my favorite baits to throw all year round, and it's every time I go fishing, I always have a Ned rig tied up or a drop shot if I'm fishing really deep water, like let's say 15 foot, but usually the Ned rig is the way to go. All right, everybody, hope you enjoyed that video. These were my 3 favorite summer baits: the frog, jig, and the Ned rig. But I hope you guys learned something from this, and hope you guys can get out there and catch some fish. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and subscribe to me on YouTube. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see y'all next time.